as we capture the URL and the file related to Defender alert, and we let the attack run in an evasion-resistant sandbox, we can see what is the attacker intent. And we can provide the information to the SOC analyst into Defender that will help them to streamline the alert triage. Maybe most importantly, we can extract the IOC of the different stages of the attack and provide that to defenders to automatically block repeat or variation of the same attack. And lastly, we can accelerate the incident response because you will have a report ready detailing the behavior of the malware or of the URL in VMRay Sandbox. But now let's move to Defender and have a look at the first alert. In that case, Defender has a fairly generic name, WAC attack malware, that was prevented by AV. As you scroll down, you will find the comment of VMRay. You will see that we analyze a file, and that this file was a child sample of another alert. So in fact, we capture a URL, and from the URL, we downloaded the file. It was not downloaded from the device, but directly from the attacker backend. We found clearly it's malicious, but we find also what is exactly this threat. So it's VDAR, a fairly famous info stealer. And we provide a long list of threat indicators that help the analyst to know what they are facing. In this case, in particular, VDAR configuration was extracted. In case the analyst didn't notice the comment in the alert, he may have noticed from the incident panel that VMRay has analyzed some of the alert, found something malicious, found different threat name. In other alerts, there was Cobalt Strike and Remco. Other alerts was incident, but in that one, we found VDAR. And from there, they can pivot back to the alert to get all the information. If they need more information, they can use the link in the alert to open directly VMRay report. And here you can see the VDAR threat name was analyzed, plus some other more generic threat name. You can find the long list of behavior, but now you can actually start to dig into the behavior, find what happened exactly. You can see the malware configuration. And here you can see, for example, VDAR is known to use Steam to extract data. So it's their first stage C2. That may help you in incident response mode, or by precaution, you may block Steam community traffic into your enterprise. If you know you are targeted by VDAR, you will see screenshot, monitor process tree, MITRE attack framework. Again, it allows you to deep dive into a lot of information, and you can get as many detail as you need. But maybe one point to highlight is that all the information was captured within a 2-minute analysis. So that's pretty important to allow automation. Now let's move to another AV alert. So in that case, it was detected on the client. So it was a file directly open on the client. And in that, we got it from the quarantine folder. And we provide, of course, the SHA, the verdict. And in this case, we found it was Agent Tesla and RedNet, again, famous remote access Trojan and info stealer. Again, same information is provided. So triage is very straightforward. We can also capture information from EDR alert. In this case, EDR found a suspicious file, but we capture it, analyze it, and we can say that actually it's not suspicious, it's pretty malicious, and it's a downloader called IceID, with again all detail provided here, plus if needed in VMRay console. But as I say, what is maybe even most important, that in the same time, we always provide the IOC into Defender. And out of that, you will get alerts that will block malicious behavior. In that example, we previously found a malicious URL into an alert, send it to the indicator, and now it's blocking a connection, generate an alert, and the analyst has all the information here. They can see what was a previous Defender alert in which this URL was seen, and they can open VMRay console to get all the detail of VMRay analysis of this alert and also potentially of the file that is URL downloaded. If you look into Defender indicator, which is under endpoint indicator in the setting, you will see that VMRay has populated a lot of hash, IP address. You can see that it put an action block, which is the action we have by default for malicious IOC, as we put a lot of effort to not have false positive in our malicious IOC. Also, URL have been configured here. So now if you want to try this integration, you will need two things. You will need first to have the connector that can be deployed actually from GitHub. When you deploy it, you have to fill a configuration table where you can add detail like all the action of Defender indicator, depending if it was malicious or suspicious in VMRay. Also, the indicator expiration is quite important, as you don't want to store indicator for too long. And you will need to get an instance of VMRay. So if you're not a customer, you can go to VMRay, and through Explore It Now, you can just request a trial license. Thanks for listening, and I hope you will try this integration.